So I have another Instagram trade for Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I just did, and this one was kind of interesting, so I figured it'd be cool to make a video out of it, just a short little video about it. And so what I'm trading away is a PSA 10 First Edition Barrel Dragon from Metal Raiders, and then also a PSA 10 Harpy Lady Sisters from Metal Raiders First Edition. And these are both English, they're not Asian English or anything like that. So yeah, Metal Raiders I believe is going to be a hot set. Pretty much all the ultra rares except for maybe a couple like Seven Tools of the Bandit, Horn of Heaven, and like Magic Jammer I would say are like all pretty sought after cards. Barrel Dragon maybe is not as much as like Mirror Force or Change of Heart or Solemn Judgment or whatnot, or even like the two secret rares, the Gate Guardian and Thousand Dragon, but still a quite valuable card. And I think really for like what Metal Raider cards and PSA 10 First Edition are selling for currently is just pretty undervalued. I think in the long term, those cards are going to be quite a hot commodity. I think Metal Raiders, when the set collecting for Yu-Gi-Oh starts to really take off, is going to be like second best set or second most valuable set, just compared to LOB, and I think it's going to be pretty close actually. And then like you compare it to like MRL, which was the third set, I think there's going to be a huge dip in price values. But I think Metal Raiders is going to be a really hot set to collect. So I made a promise to myself if I was going to trade away any of my Metal Raider Ultra Rares, maybe not so much for the Supers, because the Supers are, there's only like really three I would say that are kind of like hot commodities, would be like the Harpy Lady Sisters, Heavy Storm, and Kuribo. Like those three super rares I'd say would like are the higher end, and then the rest of them are pretty meh. Maybe like the three Gate Guardian cards, Sangin, Kazijin, and whatever the other one is, Suijin I think. So maybe those three as well, but the rest of the supers are pretty forgettable I'd say. But yeah, I made a promise to myself that I was going to trade away my Metal Raiders cards. I was going to get something pretty decent in return. And I really feel like I did with this. And what this is a Tournament Pack 2 PSA 10 Giant Red Snake. This is a super rare from that set. And then also the Call of the Grave Tournament Pack 2 PSA 10. So yeah, both of these Tournament Pack 2 cards, super rares. Really excited to get both of these because I don't really have much of any Tournament Pack cards within my collection currently. I've got a PSA 9 Fortress Whale, a PSA 10 DD Warrior, that's an ultra rare, and I think a PSA 7 like 2 table of contents that all three of them I just recently graded. So getting these two is going to be really cool I think for my collection, and I think these are going to be quite hard to get cards later on. Tournament Pack 2, that's already a set that's quite scarce. It's probably like the hardest to get Tournament Pack sets, and the super rares are obviously hard pulls out of any of the Tournament Packs. The ultra rare being like the hardest pull. Getting a super rare even out of any Tournament Pack, you feel like that's a huge win. Even like a rare is actually a pretty good win out of any Tournament Pack card, especially for like Tournament Pack 2, where some of the rares in that set are quite valuable. But yeah, I'm quite happy to get both of these. I think this is going to be like a really good investment later on. Right now I think the trade is pretty even value-wise. Maybe later on, I think just because of how hard it is going to be to get these cards, though, could be more valuable. But really I'm going kind of more for scarcity and then less for popularity on these two. These were the more popular, where the other two are the more scarce. But pretty happy trade. I think it's really even, but I'm happy with it overall. So that was just my thoughts on the trade. If you have your own thoughts or own opinions on it, feel free to comment on them. But that's all for this video. My Instagram and eBay information is down in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching.